Okay, see that trailer right there? That one? Okay, so here's my car. And I just pulled up. Now, this was yesterday morning. So I just pulled up, and I'm getting ready to go in the storage to get some boxes to take over to this new storage that I bought when they were closed for a week with no notice at this storage place. Oh. And usually the one girl that works here parks right there with a red Jeep or a little white car. Usually a red Jeep. Not the handicap spot, but the one right there. One of those two right there. And then the manager, he's down here about once a week. He parks like over there. Okay? Like right about there with a gray looking SUV. And then corporate has like a VW SUV. They were here last week. So that trailer right there, which hasn't moved, I had just pulled up. I was on the phone, and this guy backs in to that trailer with a big black truck. I think it was a Dodge, and it's man's probably about in his 50s, and he backs up to it, is getting ready to hook it up, and he doesn't see any cars but mine. He comes over to my car, to my door, to my driver's door window right here, with a face mask on, and he thinks I work here. And I told him, no, sir. I said, I don't work here. I have 3 storages here. And he says, well, my buddy got this trailer for me, and I come over here to pick it up. I said, I don't know if anybody's here today because there's no cars. But all you got to do is there's a number on the front door, and you can call that. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Or you can go to the website. And he goes, well, I can't believe it. And I said, he said, they said they were here. And I said, well, usually, you know, if the girl's here, she drives a red Jeep or a white car, and that's not here. And I haven't seen it all morning. And then the manager, he drives a gray car, but I know he's not in town. He's at the Pensacola storage this week. And so I said, are you sure it's the right storage? Because there's one over by Whataburger and one right around the corner. And he said, no, it's this one. I said, well, I would just call the number and confirm it, because so they'll have somebody come over here and help you. And I said, that would be the best way to go. And he looks over and he says, oh, the sign says open. I said, well, sometimes that is on and nobody's there. Because I forget to turn it off. But there might be somebody in there because they've been trying to hire somebody to work 2 days a week for a long time. So there might be somebody there and they just don't have a car. And, but I said, you know, he said, well, what are the hours? And I said, well, you know, they're just in and out. You never know. I said, and there's some days that they are closed, but again, I don't work here. And, he said, okay. I said, I would just try the door and see if somebody's in there, and otherwise, call that number. There will be somebody there, I promise you, 24 hours that will answer your call. And so he said, okay. So he goes walking towards the door. I got out of my car, started walking towards the other door so I could go on the storage side, which the office is glass, but she keeps all the doors locked all the time, like somebody's coming in to get her. And it's real strange during business hours if she's there. When the manager guy is around, he doesn't do all that. But anyway, so I saw him. He went in the door. I said, wow, that is great. So I thought maybe they had got the new person in that they've been trying to hire, because she tried to hire me at one point and was like, really want me to come to work for them. I'm like, I wouldn't do it for 2 days a week. That's just a waste of my breath. And not for that kind of money. But anyway, so I was real happy about it. I almost did like the thumbs up, you know, as I was walking by, because that was great. And because I get tired of it. I've probably had In 4 months, I've probably had 100 customers come to me in the storages, sliding through the doors with no code or anything, and thinking I'm supposed to be in the office and I work there because my storages are right next to the office, and want to know when the people are going to be back and where's the girl that works in the office and all that kind of stuff. And I just like, I don't know, just call that phone number. And people complaining and everything else, and it's like, ugh. But anyway, so I was real happy for that guy, because it made me sad because I didn't see any cars around. I thought, oh my gosh, here's a guy who just wants to rent a U-Haul, and again, nobody's here. But actually somebody was here, and it was that girl that normally works here, which was great. So her car must have been broke or something, and she didn't bring it. So, but anyway, so I went and I loaded 13 boxes into my car and came out. The black truck was gone. Trailer's still here, just like you're seeing it now. Today's Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. And I believe it's Wednesday, January 13th. So anyway, and this was before noontime. So anyway, I loaded my 13 boxes in, and I got in the car, turned around. I had to go wee, wee, wee all the way home. And I turned right around because there's a bathroom on the property, and it's only open during business hours of the office. So since somebody was in the office, then I was, hoping it would be unlocked today. And so I ran in there real quick, went to the loo, came back out, and as I stepped out the doors, which are electronic, there's a sheriff there, and he calls me over, and his car is parked in front of the office. And I said, yes, sir. And I walked over towards him, and he said, you have to leave, or we're going to arrest you for trespass. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, I have 3 storages here. They're like $285 each, and they're all paid for, and I've done nothing wrong. And he said, well, that's not what the girl in there says. You've been, saying stuff to her, doing something, causing a big trouble over here. And I said, no, sir, I haven't talked to that girl in several days because she put an overlock on my storage the other night and did it vicious and vindictive for no reason at all. And so, and she got caught. That's her fault. And I say, but I don't deal with her at all. I have nothing to say to her, period. I just take care of my things. I rented a storage down the street when they were closed for a whole week with no notice. And I'm, moving stuff over there. And I said, I've done nothing to anybody. And he said, well, you have to, you can't go in there. I said, well, I have a code key and my code still works. Is you have to have a key code to get into pad to the building. And the building, the storage area is separate to the office, but you can see through the office. Going through the storages, it's all glass. But she locks all the doors. I have no use for her, so I don't go in there. Because I deal with corporate and the manager. And so, anyway, I just do my own thing. So anyway, I said, okay, I don't understand what's going on. And then she walked outside to go to the sheriff, and he told her to go back inside. And so then I told him, no problem, sir. I said, I will call the district guy, the manager, on my phone right now. He's in the Pensacola storage location for this company today. And so I went to my car. I'm on the phone, and about 4 minutes pass, and I'm talking to Jason, and the sheriff walks up to my car door over here, and he says, you have to leave. I said, I'm not in the storage complex. I got a full load here. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm in the parking lot. You can't be here. I said, this parking lot is owned by the mall, by Simon Mills Mall. It's not owned by Absolute Storage at all. Okay? I said, Absolute Storage has what's inside the brick walls, but not the parking lot. And I said, you're telling me I have to leave the parking lot? Like, where would you like me to go? He said, well, just not near this building, and just like over there. I said, yes, sir. Sorry to bother you. So I started it up, took my phone with me, drove over there, okay, on the other side of the parking lot where all those new cars are sitting, and talked to Jason, and he didn't know what was going on. I said, well, I don't know what's going on, but I'm really offended because this is like third time as a charm. You know, when I first rented here, the girl had my driver's license. I couldn't get it back for several days because they were closed. Then he told me, oh, yeah, I came down for that and looked all over for your license and never could find it. So she took it home or what? You know, this is just scary. And then she overlocked my unit when it was paid for. And had me sign contracts that weren't even the right price. They were $65 too high. And she refused to correct it. And then I come up here and get 13 boxes, go to the loo, and the sheriffs are waiting for me as I come out the door, telling me I have to leave or they're going to arrest me for criminal trespass. Really? So when I come out and I loaded, you know, my boxes up, that black truck was gone. That trailer never moved. And the guy told me, my friend rented it for me. I'm just supposed to pick it up. I said, I don't know. You know, one of you guys just need to call and check or something, you know. But anyway, I don't work here. I get all these questions, all these people mad, you know, complaining to me about what they're mad about with that girl in that office, and this, that, and the other, and it's like, you know, what am I supposed to do? And I'm trying to be nice to everybody, and I feel bad when people go through bad times, and I try to make them happy. You know, I love everybody, you know. Life is so much easier if you make it easy. So anyway, and I mean, I've come in here and listened to the girl at the office for hours screaming on the phone while I'm working on my storages, moving stuff around and stuff, and just screaming. You can hear her through the glass of the office and everything, just endless, you know, or screaming at other customers. It just like she screamed at me that one day. And for like 20 minutes, I had to stand there and take it. There's video inside and outside of this building. Big time, okay? When you go in the office, there's like this big giant TV that has all these split screens of all the storage, but she never watches it. She sits there playing on her phone, you know? And, but anyway, so I was really upset because I have a storage that's ended and I need to get it out. And I wanted it out yesterday because I didn't want to have late charges or have to pay another, you know, $285. I wanted it out and cleaned up and done because I had other things to do. So I was really upset. So Jason sends me a message. He said, here, call this number. This is corporate. So he sends me the number. He said, can you get text message? I said, sure. He sends me the number, and I call it. It's like an 877 number. And all I get is a ring and an answering machine. And then it says, leave your name and number if you have a complaint, and we'll get back to you in a couple days. I'm like, oh, geez. A couple days? I don't have a couple days here because that storage needs to be emptied out, and they'll just take it. And I'm really upset because people are telling me about criminal trespass and arresting and all that, and then I have to leave the property, and it's like, whoa, I pay for every day here rent. Every single day I've paid. I have done nothing to nobody. So anyway, Jason said he didn't know exactly what was going on, but it was something through corporate. So, and he was real nice. And so anyway, I called that number like 3 times, left a message. Never could get anybody to answer. I told Jason, I said, nobody's answering that number. It's just an answering machine. And he says, well, they should get back to you. And I said, well, why didn't somebody send me an email or call me if there's some kind of problem? Because all my stuff's paid for. I'm not bothering anybody, and I'm tired of this mess over here. That's why I rented another storage down the street. I was tired of waiting around. I wasn't going to do anymore. I even rented U-Hauls down the street. Because I couldn't even get a U-Haul here because I looked it up online to rent a U-Haul out of here. Okay, because they have all different kinds of them, and there's some more behind me down the other side of the building. And so, you know, I wanted to do business where I do business. And do you know, the website said, I tried to rent it, right, with a card, and the website says, no one is available for you to pick up. They're closed. It's like, oh. So, I mean, but you can go to U-Haul website and scan some code now on these trailers and rent them right there, boom, on the U-Haul website, just by scanning it with your phone, it says on there. So you can do it like 24 hours. That's pretty wild. But anyway, so most of the day goes by, and I guess it was about 4:35, and I was at the other storage, and my phone rings. I had it in my hand, and I was talking to the other storage lady and asking her advice. I said, what do I do? Do I have rights? I mean, can they do that? What do I do? Because my stuff is there, and I've got to get that one moved out. And she said, well, they can't do that. And I drove to the other end of the mall. I forgot to tell you this. After I left here, I drove to the end of the mall after I talked to Jason, talked to the sheriff again. And he said, do you actually have, contracts? I said, right here on the dash. And I showed him to him. He said, you're paid in full. I said, I know. And he said, they don't have a right. They don't have a legal right to keep you from your stuff. He said, do you have people to move your stuff? I said, no. I said, can you afford a U-Haul? I said, no. I rented 3, a week ago. I wiped out. And so he says, well, if they give you an opportunity to move your stuff, you need to get it all at once. And I said, well, it's 3 storages. And I said, I'm progressively moving into this other place because I'm tired of the problems. After that girl overlocked my unit when it was paid for, I've had enough. When she kept my driver's license for 3 days, I guess she took it home. I mean, that's just creepy. And so, anyway, he said, well, that doesn't sound good. And he says, she said that you were causing trouble over there. I said, I didn't do anything. I didn't talk to that girl. I touched her. I said, look in my car. I have like 13 boxes in here. I'm not lying to you. I just got those out of my storage. I ran back in there to go pee. And I was leaving. I said, that's all I do. I don't talk to her. And because I know what she was doing was vicious and vindictive. I know that for a fact. And that's sick. This is a business here. And I don't work here, and I'm getting tired of doing everything, and then, I don't even work here. I don't get paid for it. And I'm done. But anyway, he's like, yeah, it doesn't sound good. He said, oh, I'm just going to tell you, you have a legal right, and they have to refund all your money right now. Because she told me she was the manager. I said, she's not the manager. Jason is. And he said, well, that's what she told me. He says, and then she said, all your contracts were terminated. I said, well, I can't believe that they terminated my contracts. I didn't do anything. But anyway, so back to this call. I'm standing at the other storage. And, the sheriff said, I'm going to call over there. I'm going to talk to her right now. I said, okay, stood right there. Because I showed him the messages from Jason and told him I had talked to him. And I was waiting to hear from so-called corporate, but they said they call in 2 days. And he said, well, why don't you call her over there and ask her if you can get some more of your stuff today? I said, I'm not calling her. There's no way. I am not talking to that girl. And so he said, well, I'll call. So he goes and dials on his phone right in front of me. She won't answer. Well, won't answer the sheriff. How you like that? And so he was going to, I guess, drive back over here. Because he was very upset because whatever it is she told him was not true. And like I told him, I said, I didn't do a thing. All I did was pick up 13 boxes and go pee. And and a guy came to my door of my car because he wanted a trailer and he thought I worked here, which is honest mistakes. That's okay. You know, people always think I work over here. I go to Walmart and people think I work there. You know, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But anyway, so, you know, I had gone over to the other storage and was talking to the lady there to ask her, you know, what my legal rights are and stuff. And she said, you know, well, she can't do that. And I said, well, okay. And then, you know, my phone rings and it's the corporate lady. With the corporate lady, this lady's listening to this whole conversation, okay, in the office, in her office there, when I answered it. And I was very nice to the lady. I said, wow, thank you so much for taking the time to call me. And she says, well, I needed to talk to you. I said, oh, yeah, and I needed to talk to you. I've called several times today. And I'm very concerned because I'm trying to move some stuff out of storage that I need to close out, so I don't get billed for it. And, you know, this is like my last day to do it. And she said something real cocky, and I said, look, I said, I do not appreciate being harassed. I said, and other than the fact that the sheriffs were there as I was leaving, telling me they were going to arrest me for criminal trespass and all this kind of thing, I said, I don't appreciate it. And I started to tell her, you know, what's going on. I said, I did nothing to anybody. I pay rent there. I pay by the day. I have the legal right to access my belongings. I have not violated any contracts. I have not done anything wrong. And I said, but I'm not going to be yelled at for another 20 minutes again, like your employee did the other night when she locked my storage out and they made her come all the way from her house in Crestview back to the storage at night. But see, I had to wait in the parking lot for 2 hours and 15 minutes for her to come, and then sit another hour and a half, and she hadn't unlocked my storage. But, and that's another story. But anyway, so, that's in another blog. So anyway, she says, I tell her, you know, look, all I did was go in and get 13 boxes, and I went to the loo, and I come out, sheriffs were threatening to arrest me and stuff. Because the girl claimed I did all kinds of stuff or said something to her, and I didn't do anything. And the office is separate from the storages, and she locks all the doors anyway. And so she says, well, I told her to call the sheriffs. I said, for what reason? And she said, well, because she said you were going up to all the customers in the parking lot and telling them not to do business there or something. I said, excuse me? I said, one of your customers that wanted a U-Haul backed up to that trailer right there in front of my car with a big black truck, like an older Dodge. And then he came to the door of my car because he assumed I worked, because that was the only car in the parking lot. I said, that's okay. I don't mind. You know, I mean, he's assuming I work here, or hoping that I do, because he's here to pick up a trailer. I told her what I told the gentleman. And I told her, she said, well, the sheriffs had to be there to get rid of you off the property because the customer was mad and he didn't want you on the property. Well, excuse me, I rent storages. I don't rent U-Hauls. My storages are paid for, 3 of them. Okay? So, I mean, I'm an existing customer for like 4 months. So anyway, I was really not happy about that. And I said, by the way, the customer was not there when I came out with my 13 boxes I loaded into the car. The truck was gone. And the trailer's still there. 2, I didn't do anything. So she's like, no, the customer's still there. No, he wasn't. Not the one that I talked to. He was gone. So maybe it was the wrong trailer he was supposed to get. I don't know. And then today I'm thinking, you know what? If his friend rented the U-Haul, how much do you want to bet that they wouldn't give him that U-Haul unless he was the one that rented it? Because you have to show your driver's license, you have to bind a credit card with it, all that. And you can do some of that reservation stuff online, but somebody has to put up their driver's license, and if the guy rented it in his name, with his driver's license, which that's about the only way they do it, then the person that rented it has to be there to pick it up. I'll bet you that's exactly what happened, and they're probably furious over it, because the girl was probably nasty to him in the office. So, that's the situation. So, and which is, again, not my problem, because I don't work here. And the trailer's still here. It's been here ever since yesterday. It looks just like the same trailer that guy backed up to right in front of me, right here where I was parked. And it was here all day today too. And this is the different trailer. It sure looks like it. Because it looks like a car dolly thing. So, anyway, you know, again, like I told that lady, I said, look, I don't work for you. You don't pay me. And I'm very nice to everybody. And I get a lot of people come to me about this place because the girl takes off all the time. Today, her car moved 5 times. I have probably done 16 loads today. And her car moved at least 5 times. So, unless she just likes moving her car around to different spots. So, but again, that's not my business because I don't work here. But it would be nice if they had somebody that would be here all day. And if they took a lunch break, they put a note on the window so customers know and they're not all mad. And, it's just really bad business. And, but I just was blown away because that corporate lady, I told her, I said, I've had enough. I said, I do not appreciate being harassed. I will go down and file charges. Trust me. I said, you're terminating my contracts and you need to refund me immediately, and I have a legal right to my property. So you better figure it out, because I will call my lawyer. And she's like, I said, look, I was already advised by the sheriffs what my legal rights are. So you better decide. Because I'm tired of being harassed by your employee. And I'm tired of having to do her job. I'm not getting paid for it. God, I even take trash out over here. Because she will never take the trash out. And this stuff will reek. I got trash bags in my storage, so, you know, it's not a big hairy deal. It's just a piece of plastic. You get them at the Dollar Tree. So, a lot of times when it's just all over the place, I'll pick it up and take it out to the dumpster around the side of the building. It's not a big hairy deal. Put a new bag in. You know, because she'll never do it. Never. It will overflow into the floor. And I watched Jason come down here and take a cart and load it with bags and bags of hefty bags of trash to take to the trash bin outside. I've never seen anything like it. And you know, there'll be cigars and cigarettes laying on the code key box on the front of the building, and I will get rid of those. There's all kinds of trash all over the front sidewalks. Why she doesn't go out there and sweep it up? You know how many times I've found spilled nails and screws, like hundreds of them, okay, at the entry or in the parking lot out here? And I've told her, you know, there's nails, and she'll go, oh, and she turn around and keep punching on that telephone. She won't do anything. You know? Every time somebody comes and puts a U-Haul in the door, she won't tell them they're going to break the doors when they put that ramp all the way into the building on the automatic doors, and they keep slamming and slamming and slamming and slamming on it. And then they empty everything they have out and block so that no one can come in this entry. Now, there are 3 entries, but the place is like a maze. It's really badly designed inside. I mean, literally, it is like a maze. You don't know which way to go. Everything's a dead end, and go up this corner, go up that corner. It's a big long walk. It makes zero sense at all. They could at least have signs, you know. And they take the customers will take all the carts, block everything, so you can't even get through with the cart and can't even walk through sometimes. I have 8 people there, nobody with a mask, and they're all standing in the doorway, so you can't get through, not even a 6-foot rule. And she's in there on the phone, punching on the phone. And I'll go in there and I'll tell her, you know, these people are blocking the whole doorway, you know, so I can't move any stuff, you know, from my storage. Oh, they'll be done in a while. So I end up sitting in the parking lot 1, 2, 3 hours with people with a big giant U-Haul. Because I can't access my storage. And this happens constantly. Because they got this 1 penny deal or the dollar deal moving and all that crap. And so these people do it. And they're just coming like flies, you know. And it would be nice if she'd go out there and tell them, please make sure to leave you know, cards for the customer. You get 1. If you need another $1 or something, rent one here in my office, because they got like 20 of them over there now in the office. And because it's horrible. The storage is so big. It used to be the old Sears. It's in Santa Rosa Mall. And it's so big that you really need a cart to get your stuff out. And my storage is, I picked them out, and they're near the door and right near the office, so they're pretty close. But still, I don't want to be carrying boxes one by one out to my car or anything else. It's not fair to me. And, you know, she should get up and do her job. It's constant. She always tells me, oh, they'll be done in a little bit. So I have to sit in a flipping parking lot, you know? I'm so tired I have to sit in the car in a parking lot. I'm not getting paid for this. And why can't the girl just tell them, please leave space so other customers can come through? Because, see, I'm not the only one. People are coming in and out of this building a lot of times, you know, and sometimes it's just nobody's around. But, you know, most of the time I pull up, 2 or 3 people pulling up like right behind me, you know, and they're going in to get something or bring something in. And, you know, we try to be courteous and you know, stay 6 foot away and do our thing and all that. But it's horrible when a truck is blocking the door, you know, and the girl that works there won't even tell them. And I'm supposed to sit around for an hour, 2, 3 hours. This happens so often. At least once a day for me. At least once a day. I'm so tired of it. Really, I am. And yes, of course, there's 2 other entries on the way other side of the building. But why should I have to walk all